Okay, YouTube, welcome back to the channel. We are here once again, an NHL 23 career simulation, this time simulating the career of Adam Fantilli. So the draft just happened and Adam Fantilli went third overall to the Columbus Blue Jackets. Adam Fantilli is unfortunately not in this game, but I did create him using a couple of guys that I saw on YouTube and putting them all together. So these are his stats. Have a look at it. He's not the greatest defensive player, but he has great skating and a good shot at 3 stars there. Also great offensive awareness. So I'm not going to pretend like I'm a scout or anything like that. I don't know much about Adam Fantilli. I didn't watch the university hockey or anything like that this year. So I'm not going to pretend like I'm a genius or anything like that, but I know he won the Hobie Baker Award. He's an excellent player. People had him going number 2 after Connor Bedard, but he ends up dropping to number 3. A shock for some people. I'm not sure if it's like the end of the world or anything like that, but he went number 3 to Columbus, so I'm going to try to get him there in a franchise mode. I'm going to take control of a completely different team. If you guys don't know how this works, is I simulate his entire career until he retires. I take control of a completely different team in the league, and I let the Columbus Blue Jackets in this case have control of all his contracts and where he goes if they trade him, stuff like that. I will find out and I will show you guys his stats and all that stuff, so be sure to stay tuned till the end where we can see his full career stats and where he ranks all time in the lists of like points, goals, assists, penalty minutes, time played, stuff like that. So without further ado, guys, let's jump into this one and get his career started with Columbus. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here we are at the draft. Connor Bedard goes first overall, as always, and it's so hard to get the draft class to be right, man. I mean, Vancouver picking 4, St. Louis picking 5, Montreal, okay, at least they're picking somewhat in here, but Vegas picking at 7. I mean, it's just insane, man. Pittsburgh, Edmonton had a horrible year. It's tough, man. People who have bad years in the real world have amazing years here, and people who have amazing years in the real world have bad years in the simulation. So I don't know, man. It's pretty tough to get them to be right. But let's look at the draft class here because Adam Fantilli is scheduled to go next. Made him a high elite, as you guys saw at the start there. He's 6'2". I don't know why he says left wing. I put him at center. I don't know why he says left wing. That's very strange, but that's EA is going to do that sometimes. So let's see. Congratulations to Adam Fantilli in Columbus because Columbus picked 1 spot higher. Adam Fantilli should go 1 spot higher. Here we go. And they pick, yes, they do. They pick Adam Fantilli. It says he's a left wing, even though I made him a center for some reason. I'll never understand that. But all that matters is Adam Fantilli goes to Columbus. Let's see if he cracks the roster in year number 1. Okay, guys, so in year number 1 here, it looks like Adam Fantilli is going to spend 1 year in the minors, which I think it's fairly realistic, man. I think he's still signed with his university for another 2 years, so makes sense that he gets 1 year here in the minors just to acclimate himself to the NHL. He has some X factors here, as you guys saw at the start of the video. He should have a monstrous year here in the AHL. I'll show you guys if he gets called up as well, and we'll go from there, man. So first year in the AHL, let's see how he does. Okay, so in the entire AHL here, the Cleveland Monsters finish 18th in the league, going 35, 31, and 6 in their 72-game season. Okay, and Adam Fantilli with the Cleveland Monsters gets 58 points in 72 games, scoring 27 goals and 31 assists, being a -5, 49 penalty minutes. Big body out there. 20 minutes on time on ice per night. I mean, he grows to an 80 overall, which is good, but a season in the AHL, hopefully he makes the NHL roster next year at an 80 overall. I think he should, but let's simulate to that NHL season, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. Adam Fantilli cracks the roster at an 82 overall left winger. That's gonna haunt me forever. I don't know why he's a left winger. I made him a center, but whatever, guys. He's a left winger. Maybe I didn't. I assume that I must have messed it up, I guess. But here we are, left wing, 82 overall. He cracks that roster on a line with Andrew Kopp and Alexander Texier. A pretty good line there, not gonna lie. Then they have Boone Jenner centering that third line. They got a good team here, a good depth team. They should throw Ken Johnson in the center here. Make Boone Jenner their third line center, or fourth line center, and Andrew Kopp their third. And then they'd have an even better top 6. They also have Claude Giroux they picked up, Patrick Laine, and Johnny Gaudreau killing it up there. And that's one of the reasons I wanted Adam Fantilli to actually be a center, because then he could play with those two guys. But I messed that up. I'm sorry about that, boys. That's on me. Looking at defense now, they have pretty good defense as well. Zach Werenski, obviously always a monster. Adam Bachfest as well. Then Ethan Bear with Jake Bean. And then David Jiricek, I think, probably getting his rookie season in. Yes, his rookie season as well. So congratulations to him. Goaltending, Elvis Merzlikins and Justus Anunen. So Elvis backing them up in the pipes there. Let's see what he does in his rookie year. He could win the Calder. Who knows? Maybe he won't. But a high elite, 82 overall, destined to do great things on a young but growing Columbus Blue Jackets lineup. Let's see what he can do. In Adam Fantilli's first year in the NHL, the Columbus Blue Jackets end up going 44, 28, and 10 with 3.04 goals for per game and 2.80 goals against per game. A very, very good year for Columbus fans, man. This young team, they're firing on all cylinders. They've got exciting offense, and they can keep the puck out of the net every once in a while as well. So great season from Columbus. Adam Fantilli is going to see the playoffs for the first time in his career in his first season. So let's see how he did, though, in that season and see what his stats looked like. Okay, guys, an all-right year here from Adam Fantilli. He played 80 games. He had 16 goals, 31 assists for 47 points, a -8 on his line, 36 penalty minutes, 198 shots there. So not a bad year from him at all. For a rookie season, 47 points is nothing to sneeze at. He also grows to an 83 overall, so looking to do big things in the playoffs. We will follow along with him and see how he performs. And look at this, ladies and gentlemen, the Columbus Blue Jackets in year number 1 of Adam Fantilli's career. With the Blue Jackets, at least he did play 1 year in Cleveland. They make it all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals, and they had to battle to get there as well, guys. They beat the Islanders in 7 games, then they beat the tough Hurricanes in 7 games, and they eventually fall to the Tampa Bay Lightning in 7, and we get a Stanley Cup rematch of the Avalanche and the Tampa Bay Lightning that goes to 7 games. A lot of Game 7s in the playoffs here, man. I'm seeing a lot of them. So Columbus, it's a good year, man. If you're a Columbus fan, you'll take that year for sure. First time making the playoffs in a while, and making it to the Eastern Conference Finals is amazing, especially for this young team. Let's look at what the players did, though. Okay, so Adam Fantilli in 21 games, he scores 10 points, excuse me. I was looking up at Johnny Gaudreau, who scored 20, that's why I almost said 20. He scores 10 points, 3 goals, 7 assists, -3, 6 penalty minutes, so he was being disciplined this playoff run, which is lovely to see. 6% shooting percentage is not great, so got a little bit unlucky there, but 10 points is not awful. First ever playoff run, and look what it does for him. He grows to an 85 overall for next season, guys, at that high elite potential. He's still got 2 more years left on his deal after this one, so hopefully these Blue Jackets can stick together for a little bit longer, and with growing overalls from guys like Adam Bachfest, guys like Ken Johnson, even Johnny Gaudreau, if he has a good season, can grow. Patrick Laine, the monster that he is, scoring 10 goals and 6 assists. I mean, this team can go far, man, if they have with all their guys growing. Chinakhov also growing. So looking forward to the future in Columbus. But let's get to year number 2, the start of his second NHL career, guys. Good first one. Let's see if he can follow up with a good second one as well. Okay, this is the year 2 Columbus Blue Jackets. Now, Adam Fantilli, he grew 1 more overall to an 86. So this top 6 looking very, very lethal. But unfortunately, their bottom 6 does not look too fantastic. I'm not sure if they're going to make the playoffs with this forward core here. These are Adam Fantilli stats. Look at that shooting category up at 4.5 stars, skating up at 4.5, as well as a big body, offensive awareness 91. His defense coming along as well. It's not great, but moving up there, man. It's his. When I was looking him up, it was the place that everyone was saying he needs to work on that part a little bit. Good passing as well. So all of his stats going up there, man. They are all creeping up. Defensively, they look the exact same. I'm pretty sure they're the exact same. So nothing changes defensively. Also, guys like David Jiricek have not grown, which is not great for them. And goaltending-wise, Ville Husso, they pick up Ville Husso. If you guys watched the Ottawa series, Ville Husso was a freaking nightmare for us with Detroit. But anyways, hopefully he can do that with them and win them a series or even a cup like he did in my franchise mode. If you guys didn't watch that, you can check it out. But here we go, Adam Fantilli, second line. Higher overall, hopefully that means higher production from him, but we will find out at the end of this year. Okay, and in his second year with Columbus, the 21-year-old scores 50 points, 14 goals, 36 assists, looking like he's more of an assist man than a goal scorer, even with that 5-star shooting now, which grew only 89 passing, but seems like he's passing that puck more than he's shooting, so well played for him. That's a career high in points. He plays all 82 games, which is a career high as well. 14 goals, I think, is 2 lower than last year. Yes, it is, but 36 assists is higher. So he's going to end up with 50 points, which is very good for him. But even with that production increase from Adam Fantilli, man, it's 1 point short of being able to make the playoffs. It's weird. The 19th place New York Islanders make the playoffs, but unfortunately, Columbus, they're not quite good enough to make it. They finished 20th in the league, which is not even close to making it. Should not be close to making the playoffs in general. Look at all these teams, Chicago, Buffalo, and Calgary, all getting destroyed by the way that the playoffs works, man. So the Islanders squeak in there, and you can be assured that they are not happy. Columbus is definitely not happy, just a little disappointed in their guys. They needed one more win on the year. They would have been able to get in there, but unfortunately, it is not meant to be this year. So let's get to year number 3, where we see what Fantilli can do. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so here we are, the start of Adam Fantilli's 3rd season here with the Columbus Blue Jackets. He's needing a contract after this year, so I wonder what kind of a deal he's going to get, but enough about all that stuff. He has grown to an 88 overall, and look at this, they're actually playing him in the center position. He can take faceoffs, 76 overall. Not the best, but not the worst either. 76 is nothing to scoff at, so thank God they are playing him in the center position, so nobody has to yell at me in the comments there for them not playing him at center, even though he's a center in a university. They're playing him at center, so please put your pitchforks down, all right? The top 6 of Columbus looking quite good, but the bottom 6, again, not looking great, man. Not sure if this is a playoff team with the forwards, but they do have great talent with Patrick Laine, obviously, Johnny Gaudreau, Ken Johnson, and Adam Fantilli, as well as Alexander Texier also growing quite well here. So the second line, I'm not sure how it's going to produce offensively, but, you know, maybe there'll be a plus. I'm not sure if Adam Fantilli's ever been a plus. No, he is not. He's never. So maybe he'll get a plus this year. I mean, I think so. An 88 overall on that second line should be enough to get them into the plus, a good plus minus for them. Okay, their defense have grown and changed. So Zach Werenski still leading the troops here with Adam Bachfest. So good pairing, good top pairing there. Then we have Jonas Siegenthaler with David Jiricek, who has finally grown 1 overall. After putting up 2 decent seasons, man, he has finally grown, so good stuff for him. And then that second pair goes down to the 3rd, so a slight improvement on defense. Offense looks fairly similar, and then Ville Husso still holding the troops down in goal there, backed up by Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, who is always a franchise mode legend. Maybe not in this universe, though, 82 overall. But 85 overall, Ville Husso. 88 overall, Adam Fantilli, centering that second line. Let's see what he can get done. Here we are at the end of year number 3, and these Columbus Blue Jackets put on a show, finishing 9th place in the NHL. They have a record of 45, 31, and 6 with 3.40 goals for per game and 3.30 goals against per game. So a great season from the Blue Jackets. But although the Blue Jackets have an amazing year, Adam Fantilli has career lows in assists and points, as well as his worst plus minus of his entire career, as well as the most penalty minutes, I think. Let me look. Oh, no, not the most penalty. Last year he had 60. All right, fair enough. But I mean, I don't know what happened, bro. The second, he was centering that second, maybe he's not a good center in the NHL. Minus 20 is absolutely unacceptable, and only 39 points in all 82 games played. That is not good production from a guy who you want to be your first line, either wing or center. Man, that is not good production at all, so I worry for him, but maybe he can turn his season around in the playoffs. You know, if he helps them win a cup, man, that's all anybody's going to remember him for, not this 39-point -20 season. So let's hope he can help his team out and make a good playoff run. And Columbus's playoff run finishes short, ending in 7 games to the Florida Panthers, man. That must be the wild card Panthers there. So unfortunate, man. They're out in the first round. Let's see what Fantilli and the boys did. Oh my goodness, man. In 7 games, Adam Fantilli producing horribly, scoring only 1 goal in 7 games and being a -7. I mean, is this guy a bust? I mean, it's way too early to label him that, but he's having a very Alexei Lafreniere type career. If you know, you know. He has 4 penalty minutes. 1 point in 7 games just is not cutting it. And coming up at the end of his deal, he drops an overall. I just noticed that. He drops an overall, and this is the last year of his deal. I wonder what type of contract he's going to get, or if he's going to hit free agency. He's a restricted free agent, so Columbus maybe sign him to a bridge deal. I don't know, man, but that's pretty poor production from a second overall player, man, in his entire career so far. Having 136 points in 244 games is not awful, but 39 points in 82 games, he should be getting better every single year. But he has the worst year of his career this year and the worst playoff career, or the worst playoff stats as well by far. Look at that. Horrible production. So, a rough year. I wonder how that's going to reflect his salary next year. We will find out, though, once I finish this simulation. All right, guys, here are your year number 4 Columbus Blue Jackets. Adam Fantilli on that top pair now, centered by Kent Johnson, and on the wing of Patrick Laine. So lovely to see. Maybe Fantilli gets more production with a sniper like Laine on his line. Johnny Gaudreau drops to an 88 overall with 85 Blake Lizotte and 84 Kasperi Kapanen. Then a little bit more depth in the third line, 83, 82, 81. And then the fourth line, nothing much there, but not bad either. Defensively, we have 87 overall Zach Werenski and 88 overall Adam Boqvist. Apparently, he grew in having a good year. Did he have a good year last year? Boqvist? Yeah, he did. 62 points for him. So, well played for him. Second pairing of Siegenthaler and Jiricek has not changed, but Jiricek did drop to an 83 for some reason. And then Nikolai Kniazev, is that how you say that? With Ethan Bear. So they do bump up a little bit on that third pair. They have an 84 on that line now, so good for them. Goaltending, is it still Ville Husso here? Yes, it is, but he dropped to an 84 and still 82 overall Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. So a very similar team to last year. Gaudreau drops. Fantilli grows by 1 overall last year. I think he started at an 88. Blake Lizotte's kind of a fairly weak fourth line center, but a really good deal for him. Wow. And so the boys looking okay. I'm not sure if this is a playoff team. They're going to be a cusp team, I think, like in that teen, right? Like in maybe 13 to like 18 range, something like that is my assumption. But we will see. Maybe Adam Fantilli has a great year, has great production. Oh, also, I forgot to show you guys, he signed a 1-year deal at $6.990 million. So a prove-it-to-me kind of deal, man. Which makes sense. It makes sense because Fantilli was not playing great. 39 points in 82 games is not great for a second overall pick. So they were like, you know what? We're going to give you a chance. Here's $6 million or $7 million for 1 year. If you can't do it, then we might have to talk about that. So I like the deal. Well, in franchise mode, I don't like the deal, but in real life, it makes sense. Adam Fantilli, $6.99 million. Let's see what he can do in his first year with a big contract. And in a year when I thought they were going to be in Tweenersville, they prove me wrong. They go 29, 29-4, almost hitting that 50 win mark with 3.17 goals for per game and 2.98 goals against per game. So a great year for Columbus, 102 points on the year in total. Fantastic year. Let's see if Adam Fantilli had a big part to play. And that is what I am talking about, ladies and gentlemen. In 82 games, Fantilli scores a career high in goals, a career high in assists, a career high in points, 83 points in 82 games. Let's go, Adam. He's getting his wits about him now. Good for him, but bad for the franchise as they're going to have to sign this man to big time money now, man. So congratulations to Adam. 31 goals, fantastic. 52 assists, fantastic. I mean, these are the numbers you want to see from a first liner for sure. Pairing up with Patrick Laine, I think, was the best thing that happened to him, man. He has proven that he can do it. Now he's probably going to get a big-time contract. Johnny Gaudreau has a big drop-off here. Yeah, only 87 overall now. He's going to start dropping fast. Adam Fantilli, 23 years of age. He's going to get a big contract next year, I think. But before he gets his contract, he has to get to the playoffs, so let's see what he can do there. And it is heartbreak in Columbus, man, as they beat out the Islanders in 7. They beat the Devils in 6, the Toronto Maple Leafs in 6, but then they face the Demons, the Colorado Avalanche, who only lose 2 games in their entire playoff run, man, and they sweep the Columbus Blue Jackets. Absolute heartbreak for Columbus fans everywhere. But Columbus fans can take solace in the fact that their big-time players showed up for them. Fantilli scored 20 points in 23 games alongside his line mates Patrick Laine and Ken Johnson. They did everything they could, going plus 11, 7, and 8 respectively, man. So these guys, they tried to put on a show for Columbus, but they just ran out of gas towards the end. But a great year for Adam Fantilli overall. We got to try to get him that championship now, though. But we will see what he does in free agency, whether he goes to a different team or decides to re-sign after a great year. Alright guys, here are the lines for year number 5 of Adam Fantilli's NHL career. He is centering that second line alongside of Alex Iafallo and Kasperi Kapanen. That first line, they went back with Johnny Gaudreau, Ken Johnson, and Patrick Laine. So Adam Fantilli not getting much help from his line mates here. So I wonder what his point production is going to be like, man. Last year he had 83 points, right? But this year, with 84 and 83 on his wing, will he be able to produce the same? I'm not sure. We're going to find out, though. And this bottom 6 looks all right. It looks okay. Defensively now, we have Werenski and Bokfist still on those top 2 pairs. Then we have Kniazev. I'm not sure if that's how you say his name, but I'm going to keep saying it like that, with David Jiricek, who's an 84 overall. And then 83 Yusuf Valimaki with 78. Yikes. Jyrki Numminen. So Jyrki here, a prospect drafted in 2026, so 2 years ago in the 13th overall. He's an offensive defenseman, so maybe he can grow a little bit for them, help them out. Looking at the goalies, it's still Ville Husso, who has now dropped to an 83 here with Daniil Tarasov. So Ville Husso has been their goalie for quite a while. Adam Fantilli on that second line. Last time he centered the second line, he had 39 points in 82 games, so let's see if he can do better than that in this one. Let's simulate his 5th year in the NHL. No, let's not simulate it, because I have to show you guys this. He signed a 6-year deal worth $13 million per year. This man is getting paid big time. He had one good year, and Columbus decided to throw the bank at him. I mean, this guy's getting paid crazy. More than Connor McDavid, this man's getting paid. So hey man, he chased the bag. He got 6 years, $13 million. So congratulations to him. Crazy stuff out here in Columbus. All right, in Adam Fantilli's 5th year with Columbus, they finished 12th in the entire NHL, going 44, 34, and 4. They have 2.87 goals per game and 2.98 goals against. So they actually have more goals against than goals for, which is pretty weird. But they squeeze into the playoffs, so we're not going to complain about it here. Let's see what Fantilli did in these 82 games. Okay, and it finally looked like Adam Fantilli is dragging his line mates to victory here, man. He scores 24 goals, 40 assists for 64 points. A decrease from last year, but I think it's because Patrick Laine is just a simulating monster, man. Patrick Laine simulates crazy, man. So, but even with that, Adam Fantilli, he was playing on that second line with Kapanen and Iafallo, so 64 points playing with people who don't score very well is pretty good. Only a -1 as well, so he's doing everything to get these guys playing a little bit better. So Adam Fantilli, 64 points, 24 goals, 40 assists. Decent year 5, but making a $13 million. I want my guy to be at least bare minimum. You have to be a point per game if you're making $13 million. So for his cap hit, I wouldn't love it, but it's an increase. Well, it's a decrease from last year, but compared to last time he centered that second line, this is a blessing, man. So let's see what he does in these playoffs. All right, guys. In 6 games, Columbus falls to the Stanley Cup winning New Jersey Devils. So at least they can take solace in that. But after going to the Stanley Cup Finals, man, this is quite a disappointment for Columbus fans everywhere. They lose in 6 to the Devils, who beat the Hurricanes in 7, and then they also beat the Habs in 7, and then they beat the Seattle Kraken in 6 in those Stanley Cup Finals. So a tough road for the Devils. They win it all. But if you're a Columbus fan, man, got to be a little bit disappointed in that losing out in the first round. Although it is the Stanley Cup champions, it was always a little bit bittersweet. And here we are in 6 games. Adam Fantilli scores 4 points, 2 goals, 2 assists, -1. There's not really much to look at here. He had a game-winning goal, so maybe showing some clutch factor there, but not too much to look at here. 4 points in 6 games is nothing crazy, but it's not bad either. The thing I will mention is he does drop to a 90 overall now, still on that $13 million contract for another 5 years, so hopefully this team can get something done with him in the lineup. Let's see how they look at the start of year 6. Okay, so it is Adam Fantilli's 6th NHL season here, and the lines look scary, not gonna lie. They have Fantilli centered by Kent Johnson and Patrick Laine there on his right. Then the second line of Andrew Kopp, Barrett Hayton, and Kasperi Kapanen leaves a little bit to be desired, as does the third line with 77 overall Reed Schaefer, Nate Smith, and Nathan Bastian. And then the fourth line here is all right. The fourth line's all right, but a third line with the 77 overall is not ideal. But Fantilli, Johnson, and Patrick Laine back together. Let's see if Adam Fantilli can replicate his 83-point season that he had with these guys, that first line there. Then we have Zach Werenski with David Jiricek. So Adam Boqvist leaves the team, and that means that their defense looks much, much worse. Jake Bean with Jyrki Numminen, who grew to an 80 overall. He was their pick in 2026, 13th overall. Then Yusuf Valimaki with Nick Perbix. Interesting. This is he played on Tampa, right? Yeah, I was just gonna say he played on Tampa. Congratulations, Nate. A sixth round pick making it to the show. Oh goodness, in goal, Ville Husso, 81 overall, backed up by Matt Murray, the legend Matt Murray, who played last year in the AHL. Goodness gracious, Matt Murray. As an Ottawa fan, I despise you, but I have to be unbiased here. So Matt Murray, 78 overall, not great. Ville Husso, 81 overall for a starter, not great either. This team, I don't know if they're going to make the playoffs, boys. I don't know. Last time I said that, they finished, I think it was like 5th in the entire NHL or something like that, 6th or something, I don't know, or maybe 9th, I'm not sure what it was, but last time I doubted them, they had a great year. Let's hope they can do it again. I do want Fantilli to have a great career here, so hopefully he can do it again. These are his stats, by the way. I haven't been showing you his statistics. You have those 5-star shooting, that 5-star senses, 4.5-star skating, 91 speed as a 6'2" monster, 5-star physical, 4-star defense, 4-star puck skills. So that passing has not increased at all, which is kind of weird to me. But what are you gonna do? 93 offensive awareness, 95 shot power, 91 skating. Like he's a good player. He's a really good player with a really good shot. I just wish he would shoot the puck a bit more, because if he shot that puck more, he'd be having like 40-goal seasons, man. But alas, he does not. So we will find out how he performs on this top pair. Or excuse me, not the top pair, on the top line. Hopefully it's a good one. Let's see. Yikes, boys. In Adam Fantilli's 6th season with Columbus, they finish 33, 39, and 10, scoring 2.98 goals for per game. That's good. But letting in 3.33 goals against, that is not good. So they're going to get a good draft pick at the very least. They're going to get, what is it, top 10 got to be, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th overall draft pick, so a decent one. Not sure if it'll be medium elite, but we can jump into the draft and find out. But let's see what that first line did, man, because those 3 guys, they should be simulating quite well together. Okay, and in 82 games here, Adam Fantilli scores 59 points, which is not fantastic. 27 goals, 32 assists for 59 points, a -16 as well. So these 3, they didn't simulate as good as they did last time they were together. I'll say that. It seems like Kent Johnson is getting in on the play even more than Adam Fantilli, which is weird because Fantilli has the X factors, Kent Johnson does not. Adam Fantilli making $13 million for the next 4 years, only scoring 59 points is pretty unacceptable. So I don't know if he's going to be able to turn that around. Maybe he needs, I don't know what he needs, man. They've got to lift him up somehow. Kasperi Kapanen had a great year, by the way. Can we just acknowledge this? 84 overall, scores 59 points. That's pretty good. But Adam Fantilli, 27 goals, 32 assists for 59 points. It's not amazing. I don't want to bash the guy. Don't get me wrong, but he's a career, or what he must be a career minus 22. He had one good year. His two rookies, he improved here. Then he massive drop off, then massive increase, then a pretty big drop off, and then another big drop off. And this year he can't even complain that he wasn't getting the ice time because he was getting more ice time and he has less points than he did centering in 83 and in 84. He was on a line with Kent Johnson in 88 and Patrick Laine in 91 and a pure goal scorer. So I don't know how we fix this. I don't know how we make Adam Fantilli produce a bit more, but making $13 million, Columbus is going to want a little bit more out of him. All right, boys, here we are. Start of year number 7 for Adam Fantilli's NHL career. He's still at a 90 overall. Probably he will stay around that mark, 90, 91, 89, depending on the year. But the team does not look amazing, guys. Not gonna lie. They have Patrick Laine. He has Patrick Laine on his wing. He also has Kasperi Kapanen on his other side. So, did Kasperi Kapanen get a deal after that year? I mean, kind of, I guess. Kind of. I wasn't sure if he was on an expiring deal anyways. But he has 4 more years at $13.830 million. Wait, why did that go up? Wasn't that at 13.005 before? That went up. That's very strange. Maybe it's because they were under the salary cap and EA did their... I automatically fix all the contracts to go up. I'm not sure. I don't know. Weird stuff. I wasn't looking at all the contracts, so I don't actually know. But I definitely know that that contract went up because he was at 13.005 before because I've been tracking his salary. So maybe we just say, oh, he gets a little playing bonus for some reason after a 59-point season. He gets a playing bonus. So I don't know. But Patrick Laine, Adam Fantilli, Kasperi Kapanen in that first line. The second line of Sean Farrell, son of Will Ferrell, Morgan Geekie, and Bobby Brink here. Then Nate Smith, Andrew Kopp, what a name, Abraham Outlaw, drafted 44th overall by Seattle. What a name. Only 77 overall though, so he's not great. On defense, we still have Zach Werenski locking things down. We have the 37 overall retirement homebound Dougie Hamilton on the third pair there. David Jiricek, though, 84 overall. UC Valimaki, 83. Jyrki Newman in here grew to an 81 overall. Congratulations, Jyrki. Matthew Robinson, 80. Dougie Hamilton, 77. So it's an alright defensive core. Dougie Hamilton a little low, but he has X Factor, so maybe that'll be okay. And then, thank goodness, they actually have a goaltender this time. Thomas Jacobson is their goalie. Where's he from? He's from Sweden, of course he is, the Swede. And then they still have Matt Murray. What did Matt Murray's contract? 2 more years, guys? Are you kidding me? But Thomas Jacobson at 1 year, $5 million, not bad at all. This first line got worse. Hopefully Adam Fantilli's season goes better than it did last year, but there's only one way to find out. Let's get simulating. Alright guys, and that's another disappointing year for Adam Fantilli and the Columbus Blue Jackets in the books. They go 34, 39, and 9, scoring 2.63 goals for per game and 3.10 goals against. So pretty rough stuff here from Columbus, not gonna lie, man. They're a rebuilding team, even though they should have been coming out of their curve. They made the playoffs a few years in a row. They went to the Stanley Cup Finals, but they just couldn't keep the success up. So Adam Fantilli on his $3.8 million now, I think, for some reason, even though it was 3.005. A bad season. They get the 6th overall pick, I believe. It's even a worse season than last year, actually. They finished 27th last year. They finished 26th. So tough stuff here in Columbus. Despite Adam Fantilli's line mates getting worse, his season actually gets better than last year. He gets 27 goals, 47 assists for 69 points. Maybe Kent Johnson was holding back Fantilli because Kent Johnson was getting in on the action more. So a better year than last year. Actually, his best year in 3 years. So a good year from Adam Fantilli, even though it's a bad year for the Columbus Blue Jackets. He's getting paid $13.83 million. A weird year for Adam Fantilli. Year number 6. Hopefully the Blue Jackets can bounce back, man. Let's go see who they draft at 6 overall. Last year, they traded their pick away. I don't know what they traded it for, but they had the 7th overall pick. I looked at the draft lottery. They still had the 7th, and then when it went into the draft, they had like the 13th or something. So I just simmed the draft, but was weird stuff. So maybe they'll use their pick this time, and we'll see how it goes. They have the 6th overall pick. I'll show you the draft lottery and see if they move up or if they stay the same or if they go down, whatever. And we'll see how this team can rebuild. All right, guys, with the 6th overall pick of the draft, Columbus selects medium top 6 sniper, 70 overall. All right, boys, here we are, the start of year number 8 for Adam Fantilli's NHL career. He's a 91 overall. They picked up Bo Horvat in free agency, who got signed to a $5.5 million deal, and Patrick Laine, who's dropping to an 88 overall. So this might be the last year where Adam Fantilli can really get production out of Patrick Laine, man, before he's got to really carry this team on his own here. 91 overall. By far the best player on the team. Igor Chinikov, who I think left Columbus for a little bit. Yeah, he left Columbus for the past 3 years, 4 years even. He's come back home, and he's an 87 overall now, so congratulations to him. Great stuff. Good. They have a good top 6 this year, but their bottom 6 is really rough, man. Will Ferrell's son is still here. What did he do? What did Will Ferrell's son do last year? Sean Farrell. 45 points. That's not bad for a 4th liner. We'll take that. But Adam Fantilli on that first line, man, we've got to see some production out of him this year because he's making almost $14 million now. So that's crazy stuff. Absolutely crazy stuff. Defensively, oh my God, the defense is just getting worse, guys. Zach Werenski now down to an 85. Jiricek did not grow at all in this franchise mode, basically stayed at 84. Juuso Valimaki, 83. Jyrki Numminen dropped to an 80. Cam York at an 83. And David Ference, 79. So it's okay. They don't have like that 90 overall defenseman that pretty much every team needs to win a championship, but who knows. In goal, we have Akira Schmid here, backed up by Scott Radzlaff, who has X Factors. Oh my goodness, I did not know this guy has X Factors. Wow. Okay, so they have all right goaltending, nothing crazy, but not horrible, I guess. And then, yeah, man, so we're going to see how they do. It's Adam Fantilli's 8th year in the league, 91 overall. Hopefully he can put up some numbers this year because this team needs it. All right, boys, and after Adam Fantilli's 8th year in the NHL, the Columbus Blue Jackets go 38, 39, and 5, allowing 3.17 goals against per game and scoring 3.01. So they're a scoring team, but unfortunately they just can't get that defense down, man. So another rough year for Columbus. Let's check out what Adam did in this year. All right, so Adam Fantilli this year, he put on a show. He scored 78 points in 82 games. He gets 30 goals, 48 assists for it. So fantastic year from Adam Fantilli. Patrick Laine here only scores 61, his lowest total in quite some time. Since when? Since 2021-22, man. So yeah, since we started the simulation, basically. But Adam Fantilli, +4, 78 points. That's a great year from Adam. Unfortunately, the Columbus Blue Jackets miss out on the playoffs, though, so it doesn't really matter. Excuse me, it doesn't really matter, so that's rough. But Adam Fantilli, he's begging the management to get some players in here to help him out. He only has 2 more years left here in Columbus. Hopefully he can make the most of them. Let's find out, though, at the start of year number 9. Here we are, guys, the start of Adam Fantilli's 9th year in the NHL. He is a 92 overall now. He grew an overall at 28 years of age, so good stuff from him. He is centered by Jimmy Hicketts, a 27-year-old two-way forward with 88 faceoffs. This man can take the draw for days, and Patrick Laine still on the right wing with him. The second line, Will Ferrell's son, gets promoted. Love to see it. Then Dale Lindros, 79 overall on the second line. That's really rough. Igor Chinikov, of course, on their second line as well. Third line looking all right. Okay. And then fourth line, good center, but bad wings. But, if your centers are okay, sometimes you can get away with it. Dale Lindros here, drafted 12th overall 2 years ago. Two-way forward, so I'm just giving him some time, I guess. Looks like he could be a pretty good center, so it could be all right. Defensively, though, yikes. This team has nobody defensively, man. 83, 84, 82 overall Zach Werenski, man, dropping off like a freaking rocket. Jyrki went up to an 81. Then Leo Loof and Danny De Silva, 80 overalls. Goalies, do we have a good goalie at least to hold up? Not really. Kale Klang, man.
82 overall goaltender, backed up by Raymond Lyon, and an 81 overall goalie. So good first line, like a decent top six, but at 81 and 79 is kind of rough stuff. I would rather prefer you put those 84s on the first and second line. That would look a lot better. But they want that depth, that center depth, so that's what they have. Not bad, not a bad team. They could squeak in, but I don't see them being like a top 10 team in the NHL. But there's only one way to find out. Let's get simulating. And in year 9 of Adam Fantilli's career, the Columbus Blue Jackets go 37, 39, and 6, scoring 2.95 goals for per game and allowing 3.2. So again, it just can't quite keep the puck out of the net, and they can't quite get over the hump, man. They're a strange team. They have a good prospect, not a prospect anymore. He's more of a veteran now. They have a good top line, man, with Adam Fantilli and Patrick Laine. You just need you need more depth. They need defense, and they need depth, and they need a goalie. But they have the star power. They just can't quite get it done. So let's see if Adam Fantilli produced at least in this year. But he only has one more year left on his deal after this one, so I don't know if he's going to want to stay, having missed, I think, 3 consecutive playoffs now. Correction, guys, it's been 4 years since the Columbus Blue Jackets have made the playoffs, but at least Adam Fantilli is getting it done, man. 78 points in 82 games is nothing to scoff at. Jimmy Hicketts as well, at an 81 overall, scored 75 points. That's what happens when you put him alongside Patrick Laine and Adam Fantilli. Great year for Fantilli, 26 goals, 52 assists. Is that a career high in assists? I don't think so. Oh, it's tied. Tied for a career high in assists. Adam Fantilli, congratulations to him. Playing 20 minutes a night, but this is the problem. He only has one more year left on his deal. And after that, he's probably going to want to move, having missed the playoffs 4 years in a row. He wants to at least get close to another Stanley Cup, man. He got close in... what year was it? I don't know. One year he got really close. They got swept by the Avs, but this is not going to cut it for Fantilli. He's going to want more, so let's hope they can give it to him in his 10th career year, his decadal year. Is that what it is? Yes, in his decadal year. Let's see what he does, and let's also see what the Columbus Blue Jackets can do. All right, you guys, it's the last year of Adam Fantilli's $13 million contract, and it looks like the Columbus Blue Jackets went all out. They picked up Timo Meier in free agency, and it looks like they just went for depth this year. Will Ferrell's son back down there to the third line, and also Eric Lindros' son they pick up, who they drafted in 2030. He was a two-way forward. Dale Lindros, Adam Fantilli, and Timo Meier on that first line. Then we have Chinikov, Joe Veleno, and Patrick Laine. Drops 84 overall on that second line. He may retire soon. Then a good third line as well with Gabe Vilardi and Dominic Perez. Where's he from? He's from the U.S., so it's probably like Paris or something like that. Minton, Huckins, and Mendoza on the fourth line. So a decent forward core there, but defensively still leaves a lot to be desired here. Yerke's still 80 overall. Zach Werenski's 79, though. Yeah, man, still leaves a lot to be desired. 80 overalls everywhere. 83s are their highest defensive people. So they're really focusing on offense, man. I think they should be focusing a bit more on defense here. 81 overall goaltending as well. I don't know. I don't know if they're going to make the playoffs. Personally, I don't think they will, but they do have a good forward core, and especially a good left wing depth. I prefer center depth, but they have that left wing depth, and also right wing as well. Good right wings on the first two pairs. So we'll see. Anything can happen. We will see. All we have to do is simulate and find out. This is Fantilli's 10th year in the NHL, so let's hope it's a good one. And this is the 5th consecutive year now that Columbus has missed the playoffs. They finished 38, 37, and 7. And you gotta think Adam Fantilli is getting sick and tired of this losing, man. Rough stuff here in Columbus. Just a tough franchise history, man. They make it to the Stanley Cup Finals with Fantilli, Gaudreau, Laine in the lineup, but they can't quite convert on it. And now 5 more years missing the playoffs in a row is pretty rough, and it looks like Fantilli's probably going to move on after this year, but let's see how he did in his points and stuff like that, and see how much he carried this team. And here he is, Adam Fantilli, in his 10th year in the NHL. He gets 25 goals, 45 assists for 70 points, a -10, which is not great, but playing on a team like this, it's pretty rough to get a good plus-minus. Patrick Laine ends up doing it with 78 points out of 83 overall. Congratulations to him. But Fantilli, 50 penalty minutes, man. Shoots the puck. 70 points is good, but not good enough to get them into the playoffs. His last year on his deal, I'm interested to see where he goes or if he hits free agency. And guys, in free agency, Adam Fantilli is here. So he does not sign his extension with Columbus. He's 29 years old now. He wants long-term security. He wants 7 years at 14.45 mil. So I wonder if he's going to get that. I don't know, but we will find out in this one, guys. Who's interested in him? Can I see? I think I can, right? Yes, Philadelphia, Carolina, and Anaheim are all interested in Adam Fantilli. So I wonder if he'll go to one of those three teams or if somebody else will swoop in and pick him up later on. Let's find out. And here we go, guys, the start of Adam Fantilli's 11th career season, and he is with the Carolina Hurricanes. And look at this, man. He's got a good team. They have a weak fourth line, but the first line looks great. He is centered by a prospect who was drafted 2 years ago, or I think last year maybe. No, 2 years. What, 2 years ago? 2032. We are in 2034. He was drafted 2 years ago, 5th overall by the Hurricanes playmaker. And look at this, in the same draft class, Paul Lewis, playmaker, drafted 4th overall with 96 passing. So crazy stuff. The second overall pick and the 4th overall pick from the first draft class meet up here in their 11th season, which is crazy stuff. Philip Forsberg on their second line at 77 overall. He will probably retire this year. Then Jesperi Kotkaniemi, as well as Sebastian Fischer. Then we have Atu Ratti. How do you say his name? Ratu? Isn't it Ratu? Is that how you say it? I don't know. And an 86 overall two-way forward, not playing center for some reason, even though he is a center. And he has 76 faceoff, 79. Okay, that's fair. Maybe he shouldn't be playing center. But a pretty weak bottom six, but Atu Ratti brings that up. But with a 76 overall center, that's kind of rough. But nothing to scoff at. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Another team that does nothing defensively. Sean Day, Daryl Warner, Damian Kemp, Kalen Addison, Damian Kemp, low elite. Okay, I guess that's something. And then Jason Nubel with Adin Setugochi. Is this Italian or, bro, American? Setugochi is American? All right, fair enough. And then goalies, do they have a good goalie at least? They have Justus Anunen, who's back with Adam Fantilli, and they also have Jacob Andronov, a medium elite goalie drafted in the first round by the Hurricanes. Wow, crazy stuff. Okay, so they have a good goalie, they have no defense whatsoever, and they have a good forward core. At least they have two 90-plus overall players. Other than that, Aturatu, I don't know if this is a playoff team. I hope it is for Adam Fantilli's sake. Let's see what contract he signed, by the way. Woo! Man wants big bucks. He signed 7 years at $15.170 million. This man is rich. This year, we will see if money does indeed make the world go round, or if the Hurricanes are wasting their money. We'll find out if they make the playoffs. Let's simulate. Yikes, boys. Yikes, yikes, yikes. In Adam Fantilli's 11th year, Carolina goes 32, 44, and 6. They allow 3.43 goals against per game and only score 2.73. So that poor defensive core and those poor goaltender. Actually, the goalie was pretty good, but the bad defensive core, man, really does contribute to your goals against average. And this is a really bad year. And in fact, it's pretty funny. Although Columbus misses out on the playoffs yet again, they do finish above Fantilli's new team. So maybe Fantilli regretting it a little bit. I don't know. I don't want to put anything out there, but Carolina, at least they do get a high pick. They should pick at 4th. So crazy stuff, but that's rough. Let's look at Fantilli's stats. And Adam Fantilli, in his first year with the Carolina Hurricanes and his 11th year in the league, scores 63 points in 82 games. He does play a lot. I think he's played, oh my God, he was crazy this year. He had 91 penalty minutes. That's nuts. He does play like 82 games every single year, man. Yeah, he has 900 games played already, which is pretty insane. So congratulations to him. But 63 points is his lowest in like 5 years or something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, like 5 or 6 years, his lowest. And minus 11 is rough as well. I don't know what to say, man. 91 penalty minutes. That must be a career high. Yes, it is. So he was really undisciplined this year. Sorry, I did the wrong one there. With Carolina, very undisciplined, and the team maybe getting all its frustration out there. Thought this would be a different experience, but the team does not quite pull through for him. Yeah, the scoring really, really severely drops off here, and I feel bad for Adam. Hasn't made the playoffs in 6 years. The drought continues. Let's get to year number 12. Big shout out here to Patrick Laine, who also left Columbus, but he was Adam Fantilli's line mate for quite some time. He finishes his career with 1,293 points in 1,400 games. So congratulations to Patrick Laine. Also, Bo Horvat was a line mate of Adam Fantilli for 1 year. So Fantilli's line mates going out. Adam Fantilli going into his 12th year in the league. It's only a matter of time until he drops out as well, man. So he's got to make something happen in his career. Let's find out if he can do it. All right, here we are, year number 12 of Fantilli's NHL career. He is now 30 years of age, and he has that same first line in front of him. But Korolev here grew to an 84 overall, which you will love to see. Second line, Matthew Boldy, Jesperi Kotkaniemi, and Sebastian Fischer. Same fourth line, basically, but instead of... who was it? Philip Forsberg. We have Matthew Boldy here, so bit of an upgrade if you ask me. Third line, rough stuff. 75 overall, 80 overall. 85 is really good, but a 75 on your third line is not ideal. And the fourth line is brutal, man. Absolutely brutal. Defensively, still looks very rough, but we do have Andy Banting, who they drafted second overall. You guys saw that. But other than that, man, rough stuff here as well. Goaltending-wise, we still have Andronov and Kundratek, I think is new. Kundratek? I think he's a new guy, but we will see how this team simulates. Again, I don't know if this is a playoff team, man. It's been quite some time since Adam Fantilli's been in the playoffs, and I don't know if he's gonna make it this year. But there's only one way to find out. Let's simulate. You know, I said I didn't know if this team was making the playoffs, but boy, did they blow my expectations out of the water. Going 28, excuse me, going 28, 44, and 10 with 2.5 goals for per game and 3.26 goals against. Really, really horrible numbers. I mean, it just seems like whatever team Adam Fantilli's on can't get anything done, man. This is very disappointing. The Hurricanes, rough team. The Columbus Blue Jackets, where are they? The Blue Jackets, did they make the playoffs? Oh my gosh, no they didn't, but they almost did. 19th or 18th place in the entire league. So both the teams Fantilli is on, they haven't made playoffs in forever. They have 40% point percentage. Lord help them. Oh my goodness, that's rough. Yeah, man, I don't know what to say. Let's just check out Fantilli's stats, dude. This is getting sad. Adam Fantilli in 82 games, he did his best. He scored 63 points. He had 44 assists, 19 goals. Is that a career low? That might be a career low, ladies and gentlemen. And no, it's not. It is not a career low, but it's close. 19 goals, 44 assists for 63 points. He did everything he could. He's a +9. You can't blame the guy. He has 85 penalty minutes, though. He is getting really frustrated out there. Just super mad, just smashing everybody in his way, dude. And I don't blame him at all. His team is awful, and it's not his fault. You know, Paul Lewis, who played on his line, was a -13. It's really rough stuff here. Hopefully Korolev grows. 85 overall. I guess he grew 1 overall, but Fantilli desperately needs some help. Let's hope he gets it at year 13, I think. Ah, man, he's getting closer to retirement. Don't want to say that quite yet. He's only 31 years old. He still has like 4 or 5 good years in him, but it's getting close to that time. And let's hope he can be productive enough to drag this dumpster fire of a team to a playoff run. Because remember, he's still on a 6-year deal at $15 million. He still has 5 more years on that deal. So he sealed his fate. He signed a deal with the devil. And hopefully he can break that deal and break out of these restraints that Carolina has put him in. Let's see, year 13 coming up. And with the 3rd overall selection, Carolina picks up a defensive defenseman, medium elite. Good defensive stats, a good shot power, decent skater as well, 6 foot tall. Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, it is Adam Fantilli's 13th year in the NHL. and they've paired him up with the 39 years old Connor McDavid, who is creeping up on 2,000 points, dude. That would be insane. And with Paul Lewis as well. This first line is killer. I don't know if McDavid still has it like that. Let's see. He does. He went above point per game last year. He's still got it in the bag. Then they have a Kasper Halttunen. If you watch the Ottawa GM mode, you know about Kasper Halttunen. This man's a legend. And then Andrei Korolev with Tuukka Lievo as well. So a good top six, really good top six here. Halttunen a little low on the overall, but then the third line is rough again, man. 79 and 74 on your third line. And the fourth line's rough as well, 74 and 77. I mean, good first line, decent second line. Hopefully defense can pick it up, and of course it cannot. Banting as an 82 now. Okay, so he grew a little bit. Hopefully he can grow more, though, because they're going to need it. Keegan Coleman only at an 80 overall. That's rough stuff as well. They might get +5 if you put them on the top pair together. They both have zone abilities, superstar abilities. I don't know, just saying. I'm not your coach or anything, but I'm just saying. Goalie-wise, let's see, who do they have? Oh, man. Aiden Lamb, medium elite goalie, but they just cycle through goalies like they're... I don't want to say what I was thinking. They just cycle through goalies very, very frivolously in franchise mode. Didn't want to say that joke. Okay, so Fantilli in his 13th year. Let's see what he can do. Centered by Connor McDavid. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. The Carolina Hurricanes once again miss out on the playoffs. I think this is like 7 or 8 consecutive years now for Adam Fantilli. Just so rough, man. He's just stuck with bad teams. He signed contracts with bad teams. Maybe he just wants the bag. Maybe that's what it is. He did sign like a $15 million contract. So maybe that's what it is. He just wanted the money because these teams can't get it done, dude. 37, 39, and 6 are the Carolina Hurricanes. They figured out how to put the puck in the back of the net, let me tell you that. But they also could not figure out how to keep it out of there. So... you don't have defense, you can't win the games. It doesn't matter if you score 5 per game. If you let in 6, you're not going to be a playoff team. So, rough stuff from Carolina. Let's look at those individual stats. Oh my god, Connor McDavid at 40 years of age. He hits 2,000 points, right? Yes, he does. He has 2,017 points. Way to end your career, Connor. 95 points in 82 games. And Adam Fantilli takes a bit of a hit here. Only 63 and 71. Oh, he missed out on games. That's why. He was on pace for about a 70 points, roughly. I mean, maybe a little bit more, but just off the top of my head. He got injured at the end of the season there. Haven't been looking at his stats, but they've basically been staying the same. 5-star shooting, 4.5-star skating, 5-star physical, 5-star senses, 4.5-star defense. So his defense actually went up, but his puck skills have been the same since he got drafted, basically. But only 63 and 71 is not ideal. Connor McDavid dragging this team, but not enough to give them a playoff spot. Fantilli, 63 and 71, and not bad. Actually, the same points-wise. He's had 63 points every single year he's been in Carolina. Wow, consistency from Adam Fantilli. He got hurt on purpose just to keep that 63-point pace. 27 and 36, not bad numbers, but... not good enough to warrant a playoff run. So let's get to the start of year 14 for Adam Fantilli. All right, boys, here we go. Adam Fantilli going back to his Columbus roots. He's centering that second line with Kasper Halttunen and Tuukka Lievo. This is super funny, man. This is the draft class of 2023. Adam Fantilli went second overall in 2023. You guys know Paul Lewis went fourth overall in 2023, but they picked up this guy in free agency, Bedrick Rusinski. He went seventh overall in 2023. So the 2023 draft class coming back, I assume this guy simulates really well. Because of his X factors and stuff. It's all right, actually. It's not crazy. But Adam Fantilli on that second line brings depth that this team needs. The third line looks okay, but a 78's weak. And the fourth line looks weak as well with a 76-77. That's pretty rough. Defensively, Andy Banting at least grew to an 85 overall. That's good. Coleman grew to an 82 overall. So defensive defenseman. These two, hopefully that's a +5. That'll help their stimulation. But a 79 on those D pairings. That's rough down there. Goalie-wise, Aiden Lamb has grown to a 70 or an 85 overall, one more year at $1 million. So this team looks good. They might be able to make the playoffs. Adam Fantilli's 91 overall. These are what his stats look like. 95 offensive awareness, 90 stick checking, 91 speed and acceleration, 5-star shooting, 5-star physical. Man's an absolute monster. but for some reason doesn't simulate like it. He's 33 years old. It's his 14th NHL career. Let's see what the guy can do on the second line.
All right, boys, we are here at the end of year number 14, and look at this. The Carolina Hurricanes are the President's Trophy winners. They go 54, 23, and 5, scoring 3.63 goals for and only allowing 2.84. So fantastic stats from Carolina. I wonder what Adam Fantilli did in his best season on a team. It's the best team he's ever been on, so let's see what he did with them. And in 81 games that Adam Fantilli played, he leads his team with 87 points, 36 goals, 51 assists, a plus 33. That first line, man, they just absolutely were killing it together. The addition here of Bedrick Ruchinski, massive for the squad, and all of these guys just pulling their weight, man. Korolev gets his best career year, so congratulations to all these guys. Fantilli, the President's Trophy winners. Let's go see what they do in the playoffs now. Oh, man, and the President's Trophy curse is real here, ladies and gentlemen. The Carolina Hurricanes, they end up getting beaten out in the playoffs in 7 games in round number 1 to the New York Rangers. In those 7 games, Adam Fantilli only had 3 points. He had a 4% shooting percentage, a -1, a goal and 2 assists for 3 points. That's just not enough, man. So Fantilli, he's 33 years old. He might never get another chance like this again. He's still on that $15 million deal. For another 3 years after this, so I don't know if he'll ever get a chance like this again. He might start to regress as well at the start of next season, but let's find out, man. Let's find out. Wow, and look at this. The President's Trophy winners of last year, they look barren here to start off at year number 15, I believe it is now. Fantilli has dropped to a 91 overall, but worse, his potential dropped to exact top 6, so he will be dropping off like a rocket from here on out. 91 overall, still not bad. He can still get it done with what 5-star shooting, 5-star defense, 5-star census, 5-star physical, but that skating dropped to an 87. He used to be at a 91, and those puck skills still at 4 stars. So he drops the overall, and also his line mate quality drops significantly here with Kasper Halttunen and Andrei Korolev. Before it was those other 2 guys who were in his draft year. So I don't know how this is going to perform for him. I don't know how this is going to work. Defensively, they have pretty decent defense, 87 and 84, then 80, 80, 79, 79. They have a good top pair, but bottom 4 is not great. Forwards have 77 overall on their second line. Yikes, 78, 76. I mean, it's not a great depth team. But they had the stars up, or the star, I should say, up front. Aiden Lamb still here between the pipes, so maybe they can squeeze into the playoffs, I don't know. But Fantilli at 34 years old, he's going to start dropping off, and he's still making $15.275 million for another 3 years, so hopefully he can live up to that contract. Despite their team looking much worse on paper, it apparently does not matter what you write on the paper. It matters what your heart contends. I don't know, man. I was trying to be witty. The Carolina Hurricanes have another great season, man. They have 49, 24, and 9. They are 3rd in the NHL. Like, what can you say about it? I thought they were going to be a bit worse, take a step back, but no, they have even better defensive abilities. 3.44 goals for is still nothing to scoff at. An amazing season from Carolina in a year that I thought, they'd still make the playoffs, I thought, but, be a tweener team, be like 10th in the league, be 15th in the league, squeak in. But no, they're 3rd in the league, and we're going to find out why here in a second. So here we go, boys. Looking at the players, Adam Fantilli has 75 points in all 82 games he played. He dropped 31 goals as well, but he did drop to a 90 overall, so his numbers from last year have dropped, but last year was his career year, basically, right? It was, right? Best year? Yeah, best year in the NHL was last year. I didn't even mention that to you guys, but this year numbers drop off a little bit, but still great. 75 points, 31 goals, 44 assists. Like, he can do it all. 68 penalty minutes, too. He's a very big boy, and he likes to throw his body around there. Hopefully he can get it done in the playoffs this time, though. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, and the Carolina Hurricanes, they make a run. They beat out the New York Rangers, who beat them last year. They beat the Washington Capitals, but unfortunately they come across the Stanley Cup champions in the Eastern Conference Finals, and they lose to the Pittsburgh Penguins in 6 games.
a rough playoff history for Adam Fantilli, and he has not produced very well in the playoffs in the past, but maybe that changed this year, though I'm sure he's going to be disappointed with the result regardless. And here he is. He did everything in his power. He's now dropped to an 86 overall. He was 90 at the end of the year, but because of this playoff run, drops to an 86. He scores 19 points in 18 games. You cannot complain about that. Has 11 goals, leads his team in goals. Yes, he does. 8 assists for 19 points. Great statistics from Adam Fantilli. I would be cheering in the streets if my 34-year-old making $15 million did this for me in the playoffs, man. So congratulations to Adam. I'm sure he will not be happy with it, but what are you going to do, man? Maybe he'll come back for another year. Maybe he won't. Let's see. It's time that I start checking the retirement screens all the time and see if he ends up there, man. We're going to find out real soon. Adam Fantilli has not retired, but shout out to Connor McDavid here, who retires as a 76 overall, 42 years of age, scoring at 2,100 points, almost 2,200 points. Crazy career. He beats Gretzky's goal record as well. One of many people to do it in this universe, I presume. I haven't been checking, but he is the leading goal scorer. I think Ovi actually had 1,000 goals or something like that. But either way, Connor McDavid, great career. 2,175 points. Congratulations to him. But we are looking at Adam Fantilli. Will be in there for year 16, I think. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen, the start of Adam Fantilli's 16th year in the NHL. He's an 86 overall. His stats dropping quite quickly. His puck skills at 3.5 stars, his skating down to 3 stars, defense down to 4, but he can still shoot that puck like no other, and he still has great awareness, offensive awareness specifically. Really high up there. Poise is actually at 87 as well. And physical, he's still physical boy. Even though he is 34 years of age, he's still a big body at 6'2", 202, so he gets the job done. Let's see if it's enough for this team, though. They have Braden Yeager, who was another 2023 draft pick. Congratulations to him, teaming up with the second overall pick in Adam Fantilli. Korolev still here as well. This team looks pretty good. They have a pretty good forward core, not gonna lie, pretty good, but dropping off as we all know. Their defense are growing. Coleman and Banting growing very nicely, probably have that +5, that's probably why. Then Leighton and Nubel still 80 overalls, and then 74, yikes, that's real bad, with a 79 overall, it looks like who they just drafted last year. Wow, that's crazy stuff. That is crazy stuff. Goaltending still Lamb? Yes, it is. It's still Aiden Lamb between the pipes. So this team could actually make another run in the playoffs. Could be one of Fantilli's last times getting a chance in the playoffs. This is his second last year on his deal. Let's see what he can do with it. And once again here, year number 16 of Adam Fantilli's career, the Carolina Hurricanes have again made the playoffs, man. Going 47, 25, and 10, 3.24 goals per game, and 2.88 goals against. So great stats here. They're the fourth best team in the entire NHL, and maybe Adam Fantilli having a resurgence of his career. Let's find out. All right, in 82 games, Adam Fantilli drops off a cliff, but that is to be expected from the 35-year-old. Now he drops to an 85 overall as well. He scores 29 goals and 23 assists for 52 points, so nothing special, but you know, playing on the first line, you want a little bit more from him, but at least Korolev and Yeager were here to bring him up when he fell, but hopefully he can bring that poise. He has great poise at 87. Hopefully he can bring that to the playoffs and get himself his first Stanley Cup, and it would be his first award other than the President's Trophy as well, so that would be very exciting for Adam Fantilli, man. Let's find out. Man, and it's heartbreak once again for Adam Fantilli fans everywhere. He's in the first round, and they get beat out in 7 games to the tough Washington Capitals, man. That's a rough way to go out in what could be his last year. We will find out, though. I'm very intrigued to see if it is. Let's go look at the retirement screen. No, we have to look at his player stats. What did he do in the playoffs, man? What did he do? Wow, and the 35-year-old put on a show for Carolina fans everywhere, scoring 7 points in 7 games, 4 goals, 3 assists, 7 points, -4, but I mean, he's given you the production. He has now dropped to an 83 overall at 35 years old. He can still play another year, man. He still has another year on his contract. I think he's got one more year in the tank. What do you say, Adam? What do you say? You still have, 79 endurance is not great, but you still have that durability at 81. He's still aggressive as ever, ready and eager to get out there and hit some bodies. He still has amazing shooting at 5 stars, man. I think he's got one more year on him. Let's see. Let's go to player retirement and let's find out. You guys are going to be here with me for this one. Here we go. Let's see. Player retirements. Let's view them. View retired players. Tim Stützle, Ken Johnson, and look who's back for another year. Adam Fantilli is definitely back. I think he has 1,200 points or something like that already, so he's 100% back for another year. Let's go, Adam. Let's go. Ooh, Casper Halton in here, who is a line mate of Adam. Calls it quits in the same year. So Adam Fantilli, though, back for another year. Come on. All right, here we are in the Carolina retirement home led by Popovich, Greg Popovich's son, coming to the NHL here. Adam Fantilli, he still has the exact top 6 potential, but only 83 overall is quite low, and this team looks like it needs help desperately. Brayden Yager at 82 has been his centerman for quite some time now, and then Tristan Popovich, son of Greg, maybe grandson of Greg actually, with, oh my god, look at that shooting from Popovich. But we're looking at Adam Fantilli here in this simulation. Then we have David Action, who is a weird player, only 28, but looks like he stopped growing at 78 overall. So weird, but he has X factors. I don't understand that at all. A good bottom 6, though, really good bottom 6. A 77 is a little bit low, but it's just their top, like, their bottom 9 is just not great at all. Like, their second line is unserviceable. But with a 90 overall and an 88 overall defenseman leading the charge, they might be able to make some noise here. And with Miles Buss, the young 20-year-old, they could make some noise and actually make the playoffs somehow. So we will find out. I'm going to get simulating. Oh, wait, hang on. Got to look at the goalies. Aiden Lamb, he's our boy. He's been here for quite some time in Carolina, 4 years now in Carolina, all with Adam Fantilli as well. So this could be Fantilli's last year. It's his last year on his deal, so I wouldn't be surprised if it was. Hopefully he goes out on a bang with a Stanley Cup, with a Maurice Richard, with a Hart. Who knows? With a Ted Lindsay, who knows what could happen? I don't think any of that stuff is very likely, but let's hope. He does have a 92 overall to work with, so maybe. And despite Carolina being basically a retirement home at this point, they still finish 5th in the entire NHL somehow. Maybe it's those 2 Studley defensemen carrying them, man. I mean, their goals against is quite low. I mean, just under 3 goals per game. I mean, but their goals for 3.66 goals for per game. Maybe it was that 92 overall guy they picked up, but Carolina ends up going 47, 27, and 8. An amazing record. I wonder what Adam Fantilli did in what could be his final year. Yeah, Adam Fantilli here in his final year has a better year than he did before. Still an 83 overall, maintains that rating. But look, for the first time in Adam Fantilli's career, he is with someone who scores 100 points. So that's an incredible player to play with, as well as Brayden Yager, who was above point per game. Yeah, so Fantilli being held up by these two for sure. Well, actually, mostly just being held up by Tristan Popovich here. Brayden Yager simulated well, but only an 82 overall. Fantilli at an 83, 66 points. Nothing to sneeze at, nothing to scoff at. Plus 22 as well. Is he now a career plus? He is. He's a plus 68 in his whole career. It was looking a little grim there for a minute with Columbus, but he has turned that ship around, and let's see what he can do in the playoffs. Ladies and gentlemen, Carolina, they go on a run, an absolute crazy run, but they fall in 7 games to the Colorado Avalanche in the Stanley Cup Finals. This could be Fantilli's last ever year, and to go out on heartbreak like that, 7 games finals, what a thriller it probably was, man. Oh, that's absolutely crushing for Fantilli fans everywhere, and especially for Carolina fans as well, as they've experienced, the team being at the absolute bottom of the league to being at the very top with the Presidents, man. So Fantilli, he's been with his organization for quite some time. I wonder if this is the year. Fantilli played 25 games in those playoffs, and he scores 17 points. It's pretty good, man. It is definitely pretty good. They have Andy Banting here, two-way defender leading their team. Tristan Popovich up there as well, but it's not a bad campaign from Adam Fantilli. He's a 0, so he's not hurting them. 17 points in 25 games is nothing bad at all. But man, this could be it. This could be his last year, ladies and gentlemen. And then we will go and look at the retirement screen, and then after that we will go through his entire stats if this is indeed his last year. If not, we'll run it back one more time and maybe he can sniff that Stanley Cup for the first time in his career. He did jump up to an 85 overall, so anything is possible. Anything is possible. And as his contract ended last year, he signs a 1-year deal, $9.55 million in Colorado. So Colorado, this is probably going to be where he ends his career, but we will find out if they even make the playoffs. This fourth line looks real dusty down here. But Fantilli with Philip Nakis and Edward Saleh. Interesting people here, or Sale, or however, I'm not sure how you say that. That guy, he's a real prospect though, so I should probably learn who he is. Defensively, yikes, 80 overalls everywhere, 66 and 68 overall. Marcus Sundin, son of Matt. Oh man, rough stuff. Goaltending, it looks okay, but they're really going to need this second line to start producing, so I'm rooting for you, Adam. I am rooting for you. 36 years old, making $9.55 million for another year. He's chasing that bag, and he's also chasing a cup. Let's see if he can get it. Oh boy, this really hurts me. In Adam Fantilli's, I think, 19th year in the NHL, or 19th year professionally, because he had that weird year in the AHL, so it's like his 18th year in the NHL, but 19th year in the simulation or something like that. Colorado, they go 37, 40, and 5. That's just not good enough. Adam Fantilli, in 80 games, he leads the team with 67 points, scoring 33 goals and 34 assists, plus 6, 80 penalty minutes as well. He's been quite undisciplined in his later years. 240 shots, 20 minutes a night. I mean, he's getting minutes out there. 53% face-off percentage, yeah. He does everything in his power. 178 hits as well, so not afraid to throw that body around, but this could be the last year of Adam Fantilli's career, and he missed the playoffs. He's down to an 84 overall, exact top 9 potential now. All of his stats here dropping off, except the shooting. Shooting is still very good, but even that aggressiveness now down to 88. His speed is at 82, acceleration 81. Defensive abilities kind of still there. 4-star defense, he can get it done defensively. 91 offense, 88 poise. That puck skills though down to 3 stars. This might be his career, boys. Never won a Stanley Cup so far. Never won any hardware other than the President's Trophy with Carolina that one year. So I don't know, man. I don't know. He's had a lot of heartbreak in his career. He's not on contract for next year, so let's see what he does, whether he decides to hang it up or whether he decides to come back for one more run with whatever team he chooses. And here he is in the retirement class of 2042. Adam Fantilli calls it a career with Colorado. He finishes his career with a career 1,458 games played. He played on 3 different NHL teams. He scored 462 goals, 711 assists for 1,173 points in total. He was a career plus minus of plus 74, and he's a big boy getting out there for 1,141 penalty minutes. Also to note, he had 3,181 hits. I'm not sure if that's going to put him in the leaders or the rankings at all, but I will definitely do my research and find out. Also 274 blocks, 769 giveaways, 844 takeaways, so he took the puck away more than he gave it away in his career, which is lovely to see. Good defensive play. He was 47% face-off percentage, winning 4,605 and losing 9,600, or excuse me, losing, what is that, 5,000, oh, I don't know, this is going to be rough, 5,042, I think, roughly, face-offs. He averaged 19 minutes and 50 seconds on ice per night. That's roughly, what is that? I mean, it's about 20 minutes per night on the ice there. We can round up for him. He's a legend. 1,173 points. I don't know if it's good enough to make the Hall of Fame, but let's see where he ends up in his career stats compared to the leaders right now.
We just look at his career numbers real quick. He was a very, very consistent player. The most games he ever missed was 11 here with Carolina when he was getting older. He also missed, no, he didn't miss any there in the AHL. He missed two games, one game here, and then for the most part, he had a very, very complete career. His highest goal total was with Carolina. He scored 36 goals in that year. Assist-wise, 52, so a very consistent career. Never had less than 23 assists. Never had more than 52. Goal-wise, he never had less than 14 in what? That's not his rookie year, but it's pretty close. This was the rookie year. Points-wise, he was always floating around that 40 to 90 point range, so a very consistent player throughout his entire career, and a big boy as well, getting 98 penalty minutes at his most, and being very conservative with 36 here in one of his first years in the NHL. So an amazing career for Adam Fantilli. Plus minus wise, he had a few really, really good years with Carolina, as well as that one great year with Columbus. Negative, he was also negative throughout his career with Columbus mostly, but a few with Carolina in there as well. So, of course, boys, it's impossible to compare these like 20 years of simulation that we did to the real world, but if we don't take into account all the people who have surpassed, Gretzky's goal record and stuff like that, we can have the stats for comparing it to the real world right now with Adam Fantilli's stats in this moment. So, he played 1,458 games, which puts him at 27th overall. He is one game above Glenn Wesley, but he is below Doug Gilmour. His 462 goals places him one spot above Thierry Fleury and one spot below Alex Del Vecchio. His 711 assists places him at 58th all-time, being one spot above Jeremy Roenick and one spot below Scott Stevens. His 1,173 points puts him 55th all-time, one spot above Bobby Hall and one spot below Sergei Fedorov. His 1,141 penalty minutes will tie him for 298th all-time with Ray Bourque. His 3,181 hits puts him 6th all-time, one above Luke Shen, but one below Milan Lucic there. His 274 block shots ties him at 680th in NHL history with Mike Riley, Patrick Dwyer, and Daniel Alfredson. His 3,809 shots places him 38th overall, one spot above Phil Housley and one spot below Daryl Sittler. Thus concludes the career of Adam Fantilli. He was drafted 2nd overall by Columbus in 2023, spent the first year in the AHL before coming up to the NHL and becoming a monster, no pun intended. He spent his first couple of years with some growing pains before really finding himself on that top line with Patrick Laine and any random center that they put in free agency. He then moved to Carolina after spending 10 years with the Columbus Blue Jackets. In Carolina, he did great things, but he got his only award, and it was not an individual one, but his team did get the President's Trophy in Carolina. He then finished his career out in Colorado, where he scored 67 points in 80 games. All in all, this was an incredible career, and I would not be surprised if the Columbus Blue Jackets or the Carolina Hurricanes put his jersey up in the rafters. I tried to get this video out to you guys as soon as I possibly could. The draft happened for me, a few days ago now. Hopefully for you, it'll be out as soon as I can possibly get it out. But if you guys watched till the end, thank you for watching. It does definitely mean a lot to me. Like it if you like the video, comment any other career simulations you would like to see me do next. But have a great rest of your day, everybody.